We needed those officers to be on the street fighting crime. And instead, we have several officers that are riding around protecting.
There's panic among Tiffany Henyard and her inner circle as footage has allegedly surfaced, containing evidence that directly contradicts her previous public statements. This has led many to believe that the allegations against her are far from just rumors.
The finances, because that's been a real big concern of mine as a board member. We've been wondering how the money.
A federal investigation into Dalton Village Hall has uncovered leaked footage and documents that have stunned the community, causing many of Tiffany Henyard's supporters to retract their public endorsements. Allegedly, these revelations have not only shed light on the full extent of her actions, but have also placed her at the center of serious accusations, including money laundering, misuse of taxpayer funds, and questionable personal decisions.
Feds, specifically the FBI, coming into Village Hall behind me this afternoon. It's not clear how long they were inside, but we do know they came with some warrants, with some court papers to serve some subpoenas. I'll give you some video. It shows the officers, 4 federal agents, came to the Dalton Village Hall in what the FBI calls court-authorized activity. The agents were told, we are told, went right to the basement looking for records. The FBI spokesperson will only say it's, quote, an investigative activity. Now, Chopper 2 was over the...
This revelation has deeply shaken Tiffany Henyard's support base, with former loyalists distancing themselves and removing any public endorsements of her from their social media profiles.
Investigation is quickly unraveling into a significant federal case with broad implications. It's a story of power and scrutiny, and obviously the quest for transparency. If you check out some of Tiffany Henyard's biggest supporters on Facebook, they have deleted their profiles and deleted their posts talking about Henyard. I'm talking to you, T.O. Hardiman. Maybe you finally realize that she's in trouble and finally realize that this is not just a joke. This is not just an attack on a black woman, a single black woman in power, but a corrupt person that has effed up the entire town of Dalton and effed up the township. Or you just don't want to get in controversies of her own, is under scrutiny on how she handles or mishandles her campaign funds. Where is the money going? Tiffany's campaign finance reports are more mysterious than any detective show or novel. There's hardly a trace of payments for the political consulting she allegedly receives from Jerry Genova. And when it comes to other campaign-related expenses, they're virtually non-existent in her financial disclosures. And what is baffling about Tiffany Henyard, most of her declared expenses are for food. Yeah.
This revelation has deeply shaken Tiffany Henyard's support base, with former loyalists distancing themselves and removing any public endorsements of her from their social media profiles.
A complete picture of credit cards, but we wanted to share with you what we do know so far. We are aware that over this time period, from 2021 to the present, the village used 6 different credit cards at various points, from January 2021 through May of this year. 4 American Express cards that appear to have been used by various folks within the police department. The state police account to rescue Ernest Mobley, Robin Collins, and Louis Lacy. Are these legitimate purchases using the credit? What we've also found in the credit card, I know that there's been a lot of interest in travel, and we have highlighted here on this slide some of the travel that is reflected in the village credit card. Birmingham, Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, in March of 2023 with 5 no travel. Washington, D.C. in 2023 with 4 no travel. Las Vegas, Nevada with 8 no travel. Jackson, Mississippi in June of 2023 with 3 no travelers. Austin, Texas in July of 2023 with 3 no travelers. Portland, Oregon in July of 2023 with 4 travelers.
The Lightfoot investigation is reportedly focusing on how Tiffany Henyard managed public funds, particularly regarding alleged personal expenses that were disguised as official business costs. The investigation has brought new scrutiny to how Henyard's administration handled taxpayer money, raising questions about whether the misuse was part of a systemic issue or isolated incidents.
Nobody has to come to a board meeting and tell a lie about anything. It's common sense, it's simple multiplication, and you have people emailing you every day about their invoices and payments. This goes far back as June 2022. It's sad, it's sickening. People came last month and we got our without the tax. Can y'all imagine a business to even start straightening this out, how our tax bills are look? That $6.8 million did never come. And it was spent before the deposit. It's simple math. $6 million, $6.1 million in tax. City somewhere. $40,000 at Amazon. What a slap in the face to everybody that resides in 60419 zip code. The meeting, and Mayor Lightfoot, I'm so grateful for this information that you provided, because it takes somebody else to come in to show that we've been trying to stop this. And we've been doing minimal damage. So can you have imagined if we just set up there and approve everything that was going on? Because she's gonna ride off in her BMW and we're still getting stuck.
A significant aspect of the controversy surrounding Mayor Henyard is the alleged firing of employees who refuse to participate in or support her questionable financial practices. Reports claim that Henyard removed staff members who didn't align with her agenda or who raised concerns about the legality of her actions. These terminations have been described as retaliatory, targeting individuals who prioritized ethical standards over blind loyalty.
Ago, she fired the chief of police because he was investigating all of those credit card receipts and all those claims of her funneling taxpayer dollars into her privately owned cancer awareness charity, which you cannot do. And one of those investigations that the chief of police was investigating, it stated here in this tweet, and shout out to this person for tweeting this, they said Mayor Tiffany Henyard is one of the most corrupt ever. She actually hired a child, overpays her police officers. She does. She overpays her police officers to be her security, which what do you need that much security for? You're a mayor of a town with about 20,000 people. One of the officers was paid $13,000 in 2 weeks for 300 hours of overtime. Because nobody believes that. Nobody believes that anybody worked 300 hours of overtime. So this has to be investigated because it looks like these numbers were being padded. So the chief of police, or the ex-chief of police, had his attorney, and they're standing behind them that there were allegations of corruption, and he was investigating them. Now I'm going to do a little bit more digging because I think there's a lot more to know about this Tiffany Henyard story because anybody who shows up to a city town hall meeting dressed like Nino Brown is definitely doing something that they shouldn't be.
Critics have also pointed to Tiffany Henyard's allegedly inflated salary as another example of her misuse of public resources. According to reports, her salary far exceeds that of other mayors in similarly sized municipalities, raising questions about how such a figure was justified. This high salary, combined with reports of extravagant spending, has made Henyard a lightning rod for criticism.
She served as the mayor of this village. She's also Thornton Township supervisor. Now, she is being accused of historic misuse of taxpayer funds to the sum of, first of all, using the local police as her own personal security detail, costing up to $1 million. She's also being accused of misusing taxpayer money to pay for lavish trips for herself and collecting a combined salary with the supervisor position and her mayor position of $287,000. This is a small town in Illinois, 20,000 people. The highest salary in our U.S. government. Requesting an investigation by the FBI, and some of these allegations or accusations, I should say, are so serious that even some local businesses are saying that their licenses and things that they need are not getting renewed after they made decisions to cut off ongoing financial donations to her campaign. So it's a pretty big deal, and this is one of the things that she was questioned on. She has this foundation, a cancer research foundation, that people are also wanting an investigation into, as she has not disclosed how she is used. Thing is, it's not just about misusing taxpayer funds. That's bad enough on the surface, but again, this is a small town of 20,000 people. All of these accusations that she's racking up are causing this town to go into unmanageable debt, and the people are crying out for help. Here are a few of these people. In fact, I believe they're looking at right now a $2 million deficit, which in a big city or a big town might not be that big of a deal, but when you are the village of Dalton in the middle of Illinois.
Another area of concern has been Tiffany Henyard's alleged use of village security for personal purposes. It's been claimed that Henyard employed security personnel, who were meant for official duties, to cater to her personal needs. This alleged misuse of public resources has sparked sharp criticism, with many arguing that such actions represent a clear abuse of power.
Did this at a board meeting. Not only that, now I'm assuming that taxpayer funds were used to pay for all this. So she dressed up as him. Her ensemble included a stuffed toy dog at her side, just as Brown had a real one in the movie. Also, she brought in a DJ. During the meeting, Henyard had the DJ punctuate her political points with musical cues, including Rihanna's hit single, Be Better Have My Money, where she demanded trustees approve a bill for a village ice rink.
Residents have voiced their anger over what they see as a gross misallocation of resources that were meant to protect and serve the community. Calls for stricter oversight and accountability have intensified, with some demanding that Henyard face legal consequences for her actions.
Borough Mayor Tiffany Henyard, I have been following this story for weeks. She should have been in jail yesterday. And it wouldn't even be her first time there. She has embezzled hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. She has defrauded her taxpayers, and she has the city in a $7 million deficit. And that's the tip of the iceberg. Her charity has been shut down by the state government after it was found out she spent tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars on nothing. Like when she spent 10 grand on a weekend bicycle trip to the capital of Illinois, Springfield, in support of a bill that wasn't even in session. And the $17,000 that she spent on merch. She says that she doesn't have a foundation, she's not involved in it. Like, bestie, your name's on it. There's the small fact that her personal security detail works not just double overtime, but triple overtime, often clocking as much as 200 hours in a single 2-week pay period, which is usually 80. And one guy clocked 303 hours. Should we talk about the Vegas thing? She flew first class to Vegas on the town's card, racked up over $8,000 in hotel costs with zero business justification or even explanation about what they were doing there. There's also the lawsuit and FBI investigation into the SA that occurred there to her personal assistant, who she then fired immediately after reporting it. But wait, there's more. Shuts down businesses that do not financially support her campaigns, and she hires child predators. But it's Illinois, so of course a corrupt politician isn't in jail. There is so much more. I might actually go to the town meeting next week myself.
The most serious allegation against Tiffany Henyard is her alleged involvement in money laundering activities. Reports suggest that Henyard began engaging in these illegal practices in 2023, managing to evade detection until 2024, when the federal investigation uncovered these activities. Henyard's focus on certain public projects, like the skating area, has been seen by critics as a way to gain public favor while hiding her alleged financial malfeasance. Many view the skating area as an unnecessary expense, and it has become emblematic of what her detractors describe as a mismanaged administration more concerned with public perception than fiscal responsibility.
Tiffany Henyard 2023 was amazing, but her 2024 has been nothing short of electric. As we know, Tiffany loves putting herself on some posters. If there's a poster in Dalton, Illinois, where she's the mayor, she's on it. That included Tiffany Henyard's Happy Martin Luther King Day poster, where she put herself on the poster very big, and then put MLK in the bottom, in this little box, these 2 boxes. I guess you would say that was Martin Luther King's dream. Here we can see she wished everybody a happy Valentine's Day. Of course, she was on the photo. On the night of Valentine's Day, she held a party, which was, of course, a party not just for the town, but more specifically for herself and her friends at the town's ice skating rink. Here she is at it. This ice rink was really never supposed to be built because the town's in $1 million of debt. But Tiffany Henyard said, no, we're building. And she then put out a video where she bragged about building it despite being told.
Tiffany Henyard's tenure as mayor of Dalton has been marred by allegations of corruption, mismanagement, and personal misconduct. From the alleged misuse of taxpayer funds to retaliation against employees and unnecessary public projects, the accusations paint a picture of a deeply flawed administration.
It's your mayor, Tiffany A. Henyard, the people's mayor. We here in the village of Dalton, and we about to get our skate on. Remember, when all 5 of them trustees said no, look what God did.
Things are looking a little murky for the future of Tiffany, as the town has been ordered to release spending records after Mayor and her allies accused of lavish purchases. As you can see, the town's already $7 million in debt. She actually started her mayorship at $3.5 million in debt, and she has put it all the way up to $7 million. Those are some good numbers, Tiffany. At this Valentine's Day party on the skating rink, Tiffany had multiple security guards around her at all times as if she was the president, as you can see here. 1, 2, 3. Tiffany has also fallen under criticism for shutting down local businesses that don't contribute to her campaign. And as you can see here, she is dressed as the gangster Nino Brown from the movie New Jack City. Nino was a gangster in the movie. The New York Post actually picked up all of this absolutely insane behavior that she has really started to kick up this year and put in their newspaper, Chicago Burbs is...
As federal investigations continue and new evidence emerges, the pressure on Tiffany Henyard is mounting, with many calling for her to be held accountable for her actions.
The life Parks and Rec situation going on in a small village outside of Chicago thanks to this mayor, Tiffany Henyard. And with George Santos leaving that house, this is the new, funniest, most corrupt politician in the United States of America.
I learned about Tiffany today when I read an article about the ordinance she's putting in that states if she loses her re-election to be mayor, the mayor's salary will be decreased from $225,000 to $25,000. When I read that, I realized I had to learn everything about this woman. And as it turns out, the 90% pay cut doesn't even crack the top 10 of the most corrupt things that this woman has done in a short year that she's been the mayor of Dalton, Illinois. If you're on a highway near Dalton, Illinois, you will see billboards of Tiffany Henyard. These are all billboards that are paid for by taxpayers, and they advertise things such as senior services and free fresh produce. But Tiffany always puts her face and name in huge letters opposed to the actual thing it's advertising in order to get her name.
The Henyard situation serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of transparency, accountability, and integrity in public office. The residents of Dalton, once hopeful for positive change, now face the daunting task of rebuilding trust in their local government.
She's also recorded a music video with taxpayer dollars. It's not even her own song, it's just her singing over it. This is a legit comedy show. I can't wait for the documentary about this. Look at her with the cops. And the crazy thing is, all the things I've mentioned, it's only the tip of the iceberg with her. I could do a 10-part series on Tiffany. She is the most iconic politician running right now. She just does what she wants, and then she just keeps it moving. She goes, I'm gonna keep spending taxpayer dollars. I'm gonna have to do a 10-part series on this one because she may be the go.
Y'all remember Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, Illinois? First, she was accused of using taxpayer money to fund her lavish lifestyle. Then when the city council unanimously voted for an investigation, she vetoed it. Then last month, a member of her staff accused her of covering up an essay that happened on one of their business trips. Then this week, after a city council meeting showed overwhelmingly that the people want her to step down and resign, the board of trustees has appointed the former Chicago mayor, Lori Lightfoot, to lead the investigation into the essay.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned, and I'll see you next time.